Dipika Pallikal is a trendsetter on the squash court. A former top 10 player, she, along with partner Joshna Chinnappa, won India's first Commonwealth Games gold medal in the sport. The 30-year-old was also India's first woman squash player to win the Arjuna Award. Recently, she returned from a 3-year career break and motherhood to win 2 gold medals at the World's Double Championship. Mother, sports champion, and now also an entrepreneur with her interior design venture. How does she do it all? Dipika Pallikal tells us in this episode of Forbes India from the field.
See, I think I was a young girl who actually really enjoyed playing sport in school, be it any sport. I was always running around, part of all the events at sports day. And, I was always trying to do something, be it with sport. I played basketball in school. I played tennis, and then obviously I took up squash. So it was very normal for us to play sport in the family. It was not like, oh, you're sending a girl to play squash or tennis. It was not that. It was just a very normal thing for me to play sport. And then when I obviously did really well at squash, a lot of people started to notice that, I was good at hitting the ball, or, my ball awareness, my match awareness, my the way I hit the ball. I think a lot of people noticed that. And I think that's when my parents also started to realize that there was something that I actually like playing squash. And, if I had to take it further, then obviously I had to put in a lot more effort. And me coming from a sports background, I think I had the right people around me. My mom played cricket for India. I have a lot of family members who've, been in sport. So it was very normal for me to take up sport. But to reach this level, obviously, there's a lot of things that go into making a professional athlete. And the decisions that I had to take at a very young age was obviously very a lot has to give credit to my parents for taking those decisions at the right time, and allowing me to play a sport that is not as popular in India. I think when I took a break from the sport, I knew that I'd always wanted to come back on court, but I didn't put a time frame as to, I'm going to take a break for a year or so and then come back. It was just like, I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to decide when I'm feeling mentally fresh and physically fresh when I wanted to play. Obviously, a lot of things changed when the boys were born, and I didn't have time left in terms of whether I wanted to play Commonwealth Games or not. And if I did want to play Commonwealth Games, it was going to be a huge effort for me to get back on court on time, because the Commonwealth Games is in July. But I think the aim was to play the Commonwealth Games, but I kept telling myself I'm just going to take it one day at a time and see where I go and how I go, and being in a physically and in a mental good space for me to make the team and be present with the team and just play my best. So it's definitely hard. I think more than physically, I think it was very hard mentally for me to get back on court and just be part of the team where end of the day you're a professional athlete. There's a lot goes in which is very, very mentally draining. So it was very important for me to be mentally prepared more than physically. And I think physicality plays a very big role. And it was something that I put in a lot of effort to lose the weight, to get stronger, to get fitter, to get faster on court. So I think it's just a mix of a lot of things. But I'm very, very, I was very sure in my head that I did want to come back on the court, but I wasn't sure when I was going to come back, and I'm just happy that it's, everything's worked itself out. Obviously, there's always pressure being the flag bearer of any sport in the country. But I think the most important thing is for you to try and, keep all that in the background and try and, take that as a motivation that, what, you're doing this for the country. There are a lot of people who, who are looking up to you, and, a lot of people know the sport because of myself and a lot of other squash players. So I felt like I didn't really take it as pressure. I really took it as a motivation for me to, go out there and perform and, try and give back to the community and the people that, who've really supported me through my journey. I think what will obviously top the list will definitely be the Commonwealth Games gold that we won in Glasgow. And then I think a close second will definitely be both my silvers at the Commonwealth Games, because I reached both the finals of the mixed doubles and the women's doubles. So that, and obviously, the world doubles that happened a few months back, I think that also is very, very important for different reasons, being that, I've come back after a long time. I never really thought that, I would win those medals. It was just me going in there and trying and just being happy, being back on court, trying to get ready for the Commonwealth Games, just figuring out where I stand amongst the top players. So it was something that I never really thought that I would come back with 2 gold medals. I think you just shut out the noise. I think that's what I've done really is, for me, I don't really listen to what others have to say about me and how I'm running my house or how I'm running my life. I think as long as your closest family knows, as long as your husband and children know what you're doing and what you want to do, I think that's important. And I've been very, very lucky to have people around me who really support my journey, who believe in my journey as much as me or even more than me. And I have to say that, it obviously looks all cushy from outside. Like, it looks like, everything is very easy and Dipika's swimming through life and sliding through life, but it's definitely not that. There are obviously days I get up and I just bawl my eyes out because I'm just exhausted and tired. But I think, just the people around me, who've really seen my journey and who've really seen what I've gone through in the last 3-4 years, and for me to be where I am today, I think I'm just very fortunate and lucky to be here today. I think with me being married to someone who equally has a lot of things to do in his life and my life, and then start a family, and then me coming back to the sport as well as looking after the kids, and then obviously starting the business. I think I'm very lucky and fortunate to be in the situation where I can do all the things that I actually really like to do. And it's not easy. It's never been easy, but I just enjoy it and take one day at a time and see how life goes. See, I think as an athlete, you play tournaments day in and day out. You're literally, hopscotching from one tournament to another. And if I'm right, there are some big wins that I've had. There are some tournaments that I've, literally gone to the finals and I've won it. And then the next tournament, which is maybe like a day or two turnover, then I've lost in the first round, which is even harder to digest because you're coming from a great win and then you lose to someone you're not supposed to. And then, your confidence just gets shattered. But over the years, what I've really realized and what I've learned is, every day is different. You wake up one day and it can be a great day, and you wake up one day and it can be the most ridiculous day of your life. But I think what keeps me going is, I think I've been someone who's been very honest with my mistakes. I've learned from, what I've done, and I've been very honest with myself, and the people around me have been also very honest with myself. And I think that's what's really helped. I think when you have a good day and when you have a bad day and you think about it, I think you have to realize that everything in life is equal. You have to take the good days and the bad days. I think for me, I've always been someone, I've never if I've had a good day, I've never been super happy, and if I've had a bad day, I've never been really, really sad. It's always been, I've always tried at least to be level-headed, which is obviously very important for a professional athlete. As a professional athlete, I think it's very important to learn from a lot of things. I've learned a lot from my losses, from my wins, from my fellow athletes, from my opponents, from the coaches, and I think it's all a culmination of all the things you learn through your career. Having said that, I think mental coaching plays a very big role in sport in India. I think it's something that it wasn't spoken about, a few years back. But I've obviously worked with a lot of psychologists who've really, really helped me, and I think it's very important to have someone just to share your thoughts and see how you can get better. I think that is the important thing, is to try and keep getting better at what you do, and just trying to evolve as a person and an athlete.